What is up, everybody? This is Mr. McCullough here with your next tutorial. This tutorial is for Creative Week number 4, where we are making our 4th beat of the semester, which is the one that uses sound effects and solo. So let's get into it. This will count for Wednesday, March 10th and Thursday, March 11th if you need it. All right, so all you got to do is watch this video and you'll understand everything about what you need to do to make this project happen. And you'll also see me make a beat myself, probably in less than 15 minutes. I'm going to try to do it in under 15, all right? So, for your 4th creative assignment, ladies and gentlemen, this week, all you have to do is create one new beat. That beat that you create has to use a special effect or a sound effect, and it has to has a solo. A solo is just a part of a song where one sound or one instrument is by itself, right? You only hear that one thing, and where you put it really doesn't matter. You can put it at the beginning, you can put it at the middle, you can put it at the end. It's up to you, but you gotta have a solo, okay? So this video tutorial is the thing you should be watching if you have any questions. And when you make your beat, it should have the following thing. It should be at least 2 minutes long, have at least 5 different tracks or sounds. I'm gonna go over all of this in just a minute when I make my beat. It needs to have at least one solo. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Also, how to make your beat sound more interesting. It should also use a special effect or a sound effect at least twice. Now, the special effect or sound effect that you use, it could be the same sound or it could be different sounds. You just need to use one at least twice somewhere in your beat. And of course, mix it up. Use different sounds, rhythm and loops or something else, all right? So enough of me talking. Let me actually get into it so you can see what I mean, all right? So I'm going to go to soundtrap.com and I'm going to get started. So of course, when you go to soundtrap.com, it's a free website that you can use to make beats. But if you want to use GarageBand or FL Studio or any other app, they pretty much all work the same. I'm going to hit Enter Studio and I'm going to get started from there. So I know I'm making music, so I'm going to click on Music. Whenever you start off on a new day in Soundtrap, sometimes at the top they don't always show the time. Like right now I can see 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15, but sometimes they don't. So if you click this tool right here and go all the way down, sometimes when you start off it'll be on beats and it'll look like numbers. It doesn't really tell you much. So just click this tool right next to the purple magnet and make sure it's on time and you can see the time. Now I know my song needs to be 2 minutes long, so if I zoom out I can see 2 minutes is about right there. All right. So I'm going to just start finding sounds, putting it together, seeing what I can come up with, all right? So I'm going to start off using a synth. Synths are electronic sounds or electric sounds, but they could really be a bunch of anything, right? There's a million different synth styles. I'm going to just pick one that I like and see what works. That's not bad, but I need something that I actually love. And that's the thing too. When you're choosing these sounds, you're the one that has to listen to them. So you want to make sure you pick sounds that you love. I actually like that. That's kind of different, so I'm going to use that and just see what I can come up with, right? It may work with something else, it may not, but the only way to find out is if I actually use it, all right? So let me try to find one more, see if I can find something else. Let's see, one more. Oh, that might be it. Let's see if that sounds good together, though. Yep, so I got a nice, spacey, airy sounding beat, and that's good so far. Now, again, if I'm a lazy producer, I could just, since I know my song has to be 2 minutes, if I hover over the top corner, I can just click and drag till this thing is 2 minutes long, right? The problem with that is, once you've heard 2 seconds of this song, you've basically heard it all. I'm going to find some drums so I can really show you what I mean when I say that. So I'm going to put some drums in there real quick, see what I can find, and then we'll go from there. Let's see. What can I find as far as drums? These Detroit acoustic kicks be good really a lot of times. So let's see. First one I found. Look at that. So I'm going to use that. And then I'm going to just stretch it out. But the problem with doing all of this is once you've heard the first 5 seconds, you basically heard the whole song. So if I play this, it's never going to switch up. Right? It sounds good, But if I never switch it up, if I never change things up, you basically have heard the song within here in the first 10 seconds. And it just repeats over and over and over. So what I'm going to do to make this sound better is I'm going to add some solos to it. And I can use any instrument I want to make a solo. If I want, I can take these two and I can move them back a little bit. I'm going to zoom in some more so I can see. Sometimes when you zoom in, you can have a little bit more control over where you drag your beat to. But I'm going to zoom in a little more. And just like that, the drum is going to be the only thing playing it first. So when I play it now, just got a little drum to it, right? But I could have done this with any instrument to start off with a solo. I could have started off with one of these two first. Right? So that's a start. I could also start it this way. I can move that over. Maybe move the drums until later. Or the drums in this until later. Right? So whichever one. And now it starts like this. That's a solo. Now, I could put this solo at the beginning, the middle, or end of my song. I actually like the way that started, so I'm going to kind of start it like that. But I just want to build my beat up, and I want everything playing at once. So there's a couple things I can do to make that happen. First off, I don't want this to repeat the whole way through the whole song. That gets boring really fast. So instead, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to copy and paste, and I'm going to stretch it. I'm going to still stretch it out, but I'm not going to have it at every single second I possibly can, right? So I'm going to Command C, or you can right click and then hit copy. And then wherever you move this thing, if you just hit paste, it'll be right there. So I'm going to hit paste, put another one, maybe skip a few spaces, put another one, and put another one, right? Same thing for these drums. I could put a bunch of them drums in there. And when I get right here, I want everything to be out but the drums. And then I'm going to bring it back in. So I'm going to copy that, put another one right here, stretch it to the end. And really all I'm doing is just moving stuff around. Everywhere you see a blank, you're not going to hear anything from that instrument. But if there's something there, that means there's always something playing. Just not everything at once. Again, I just don't want my song to get boring real fast. So now when I play it, listen to how everything comes in slowly. I'm going to move this over just a little bit more too. Just to kind of try to get a little bit more creative. Right? So just like that, I got the start of a little beat. It's not a whole beat. And even though it'll take some time, I'm going to skip down here so you can see. Eventually down here, I took everything out but these drums. So now, got a little drum solo in there. Right? Not bad. I got almost everything I need, but I'm missing a couple very important things. If I go back to the directions, I need my song to be at least 2 minutes long, which I have. I need a solo, which I have. The only thing I'm missing, I need to have 5 different tracks or sounds, and I need a special effect. So I'm going to go back to my beat. I'm going to click this, and to find special effects, all you have to do is clear out your search and click sounds, okay? Now, some of you are familiar with the baby crying sound, so I guess I'll use that. Baby crying. And I got a few baby crying sounds. Now, normally you're not going to think of a baby crying when you're coming up with a beat, but maybe when I use it, it'll sound good. So let's drag this over here. Here's another baby crying too. I'm going to put that in there just to make it sound a bit fuller. Now, already when I add 2 different sounds, that gives me 2 more tracks. 1 track, 2 track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So technically I got everything I need. I just need to make sure everything sounds good together, right? I'm going to copy this baby crying a couple more times too. Because, I mean, I don't like to hear babies crying. But, you know, if you can mix things up. And so at this part where I got the drum, so I want the baby crying too. All right. So now when I play it from the top, now let's see what we get. Much better, right? But actually, I really want to bring out that solo, so I'm not going to have the baby crying at the very beginning. I'm going to wait a few seconds. I'm going to bring this back just a little bit. That way you can hear the music first, and then I bring the baby in, and then I bring some sounds in, and then I bring the drums in. Everything don't have to be played at once. In fact, everything shouldn't be played at once. So now when I play it, and if I zoom out to look at it to see if this thing is actually 2 minutes, look at that. Still 2 minutes, right? Got everything I need. I'm gonna stretch the drums out a little bit more. Now, one thing I like to do when I get towards the end is I like to mix things up. So if I skip down a little bit, I got this drum solo right here with just the baby crying. Bring that in a little sooner. Bring that in a little sooner. And then at the end of the song, no more crying, no more drums. All you hear is music. Actually, I think maybe I will add one more baby crying at the end. And that's it, people. It took 12 minutes for me to make that song. There's a couple more important steps I need to take. Of course, I need to save it, and I need to give it a name. So I'm going to call it Baby Fever. Boom. I'm also going to hit save. And just like that, I did everything I needed to. 2 minutes long, 5 different sounds, 1 solo, and a sound effect, okay? Now, when you're making your song, a couple things you want to think about is when and where will you put the sound effect, right? I put a few different sound effects in there, or baby crying, but they got sirens blaring, they got police horns, they got doors closing, you name it, they got a bunch of sound effects. Pick one that you like, right? And so think about how often are you going to repeat it? Are you going to have the exact same one? Are you going to use more than one? It's all up to you. What sound are you going to use for the solo? I put 2 solos in mine, right? I had one with a drum and one with the instrument. It's up to you, though. Also, where you going to put that solo, right? And again, if your song gets boring or repetitive, switch it up. At the beginning, I stretched everything out so everything was playing at once, and it was very boring. Never do that, people. Always move stuff around, always switch stuff up. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, to receive a grade. This is the most important part of this project. 1, upload your beat to your YouTube channel. If you don't know how to do that, I got a video on the same YouTube channel as this video. Just watch it. Or if you go to the last slide on this slideshow, there's a video that explains it as well. And once you upload it to YouTube, email me the link for your beat and tell me which sound effect or sound effects you chose and why. And then tell me which instrument or sound you use for your solo. That's it. That's the project, all right? So if you got questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know. Send me a message on Teams or however, and I'll work with you. But this is all you got to do, people. Don't overthink it. Don't do too much, all right? And you'll come up with something amazing. That is how you do this week's work. I did it in less than 15 minutes. Hopefully this helped.